You got to watch the way spirit moves. When you are on the, watch what happens when you are on the cusp of a major transition that's working in your favor. All kinds of things can occur to try to distract you and divert you from your path. I see it happen all the time. That's why it's so important that we spiritually take care of ourselves so that we're not as vulnerable or susceptible to those malevolent influences. I watch what happens when, some people say they're really, really interested in enrolling in the academy. They're so serious about it. They're sincere. But there's people in their household who are kind of pulling against it. Y'all be careful. You be careful, and you ask Olódùmarè, God Almighty, to help you to be able to track spiritual movement. That's why it's so important that we learn to peace, P-E-A-C-E, peace ourselves. The more at peace you are on the inside, the higher the likelihood that you will be able to successfully identify and track spiritual behavioral movement. And it makes a world of difference when you actually know what you are dealing with versus, trying to strategize to address something blindly. Let's move on. I hope you all have this written down. If there's anybody who needs me to stay on this slide a little bit longer, let me know in the chat box. Remember, I said you all should do your very, very, very best to be able to see my screen. This is why. In Ifá, we get people like myself who get divination regularly. We get guidance from the spiritual realm about how we need to move and what we need to do. Me following that guidance is paramount to the success and optimal fulfillment of my destiny. If you meet people who practice and study Ifá, these people do things that a lot of other folks around them don't understand. And sometimes we have guidance, specific guidance to keep your mouth shut. Everybody doesn't need to know about why you're moving the way you're moving. Not everyone. And Ifá will sometimes explicitly tell you that. I will say this to you all, who actually, successfully fully enroll. And I told you all this as well in your pre-screening consults. Definitely trust is developed, but there is a certain degree of trust that has to be exchanged coming out the gates on both sides. You can't tell me, Olóyè, I can't trust you to no degree. You're in my academy. If I didn't trust you to the extent that was appropriate and that I needed to trust you, you would not even be in this orientation. Everybody did not make it here. There were some people who were red flagged. Guess what, you all? Check it out. Let me tell you something. There were people who were red flagged, but I don't always lean on my own understanding, even though I have a great degree of wisdom. Some things I still know, such as who enters into this academy. I need to consult with Ifá about if this person is appropriate to be enrolled in the academy. Even if I feel, really, really great about a person. Because this is a very important step. To put it lightly, it's a very important step. And guess what? This is the check it out part. There were some people who were red flagged by me and the co-facilitators, but when I went to ask Ifá about them, Ifá said, continue to allow them to proceed with the application process. Like, I know, daughter, I know what your concerns are about candidate X, Y, or Z. And I know why you flagged them. But I see beyond you. And Olóyè, you have to trust me. I made it possible for you to learn how to divine. I made it possible for you to be the stellar student that you are. And so you learn the tool of divination so that you can consult with me, Olódùmarè, God Almighty, via the Ifá Oracle. And Olóyè, you have such great teachers that your divination is efficacious. So even though you red flagged a person, I am giving this person the green light. And I supersede your short-sighted capability to discern about this person in this moment. Sometimes short-sightedness just is. You don't always got to run away from a criticism, everyone. Sometimes a critique is true. And if you're blessed enough to and humble enough to be able to accept it, you might learn something. So those some candidates were red flagged according to my standards. Olódùmarè via the Ifá Oracle gave the person or the candidate the green light. Let them proceed. And see, that kind of correction, it touches my soul. I love it. I was wrong, but I still love it. I was wrong, but I still love it. I love the correction. And you know why? Because I always say, hey, you know, when I encounter a person who has a lot of red flags, I pray that I'm wrong about them. I want you to be great. I hope I'm wrong. I hope you're not that arrogant. I hope you're not that combative. I hope you're not that stubborn and willful. I want to be wrong. Prove me wrong. You better become a lover of correction, because that's what's going to make you stellar. You better become a seeker of correction, because that is what's going to make you extraordinary. You better become humble to correction, because that is what's going to make your light shine so radiantly and so bright. And it's going to make you powerful. And it's going to make you wise. And it's going to increase your faith and knowing. And it's going to increase your harmonization with the universe to where you think things and they happen. And you speak things and they happen. I'm not making it up. I'm telling you from personal experience, and I'm telling you from the life experience I have historically with coaching, educating, teaching, and developing other people. I'd like to move on now. I hope you all have this. Become a lover of correction.